Ramble.
If you're looking for fine jewelry and you want a brand that's founded by women, for women,
we love women,
then you definitely need to check out Orate. It literally is the cutest fine jewelry ever. I am such a huge fan of simple, minimal pieces. And if you want something that's classic to a statement to even just completely original that you can't find anywhere else, Orate makes that jewelry that you've been wanting but you can never find.
Their products are insanely great quality. The pieces are so gorgeous because it's all real gold. You can wear it and never have to take it off. So you can shower, you can work out, you can sleep, you can cook, literally anything.
I was gonna say me. I genuinely don't take off my jewelry.
Yeah, you don't.
Like I'll change my necklaces, but I sleep, work out, wear my jewelry 24/7, and I'm really picky about ones that turn my fingers green or like that are cheap or just metals like bother me.
I have sensitive ears.
Me too.
Yeah.
So this, guys, it's Alisha and Remi approved.
Even better than that, their jewelry is affordable. As we all know, jewelry can get very, very pricey. What's great is that Orate actually sells direct to you without the middleman markup, so they can offer the same quality as traditional Fifth Avenue brands at a fraction of the cost.
And we love that they're sponsoring this episode because every single time that you purchase, you're actually giving back. For every piece sold, a child in need receives a book to further their education.
They also support various causes ranging from the environment to social causes empowering women, youth, and children.
We love. So for 15% off your first Orate purchase, go to oratenewyork.com/basic and use promo code BASIC.
That's AURATE NewYork.com/basic and use code BASIC for 15% off your first purchase.
Hey guys, so in today's episode, we definitely talk about some deep and serious topics, and we just wanted to give a trigger warning in the very beginning in case you don't want to listen.
In this episode, we dove into things about assault, and we did speak about the murder of Sarah Everard. So just wanted to let you guys know that that's happening. And if you want to listen, please continue listening, and we'll roll the episode.
This is for all you boss babes out there.
Boss bitches.
Pretty basic. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Pretty Basic. You have your two co-hosts today. No guest this week. Me, Alisha Marie.
And me, oversharing Remi Cru.
I'm not, if you don't know what that reference was for, it was for our last episode where we interviewed Bretman Rock.
Yes, honestly, every episode, but especially last week.
Last week when we interviewed Bretman, Rem told a story about her first one night stand, and her mom definitely texted her because of it.
It was, you know what? My mom loves to just give me, some flack for the things, but she also loves to listen. She's like, I like to disconnect as your mother and listen as a listener. She's like,
honestly,
I need to.
Very mature.
I know. Go, mom. I was realizing, I feel like every week I come back and I'm like, you didn't need to overshare, Rem. You didn't need to overshare. And it just keeps getting better. But I also realized, I think that you also can agree, I'm pretty tapped out on inappropriate stories now. I think I've told every story. I really do.
We still have the beach one.
That's true.
Which we keep talking about, which
it will come out, but then also I'm like, should I just keep something for myself?
I feel that way about a few things. I'm like, Alisha, everyone can literally Google anything about you. Let's just keep a few things private.
Yeah. I get that. I get it. Don't do it, but I get it.
So yeah, hopefully you guys have been loving the guest episodes. Don't forget to rate. We were actually reading some reviews of you guys that you left on the podcast, and we were crying and feeling so much love. So we really appreciate whenever you take the time to, rate the podcast. I know it may not seem like a big deal, but it really helps us out. And it means so much after 3 years, still loving you guys, still loving it. Just means so much.
People still listening. I will randomly, I've been really into TikTok as of yesterday, posting TikToks.
Yeah, I saw your tweet where you're like, it's about that time where I'm going to post 5 TikToks and forget for 3 months.
Exactly. I even had people commenting being like, see you next month, Remi.
Literally so many people can relate to that, me included.
But I was doing my TikToks, and I would randomly just write things about, I showed the Disney Channel music video that I was in, random things, and people will comment back and be like, oh, PB listeners know about this, people PB knows about this. I'm like, I can't believe people remember all the how I sang the watermelon throughout the whole song. People were like, you know what I mean? I forget that people know that, and I think it's so cool that everybody remembers. We have this little family. Also, can I give them the big news? I mean, they kind of know, right? Maybe?
Dude, I don't...
Question mark?
No.
We did indeed find our Pretty Basic studio. The crowd goes
We've had a lot of questions about this. So if you guys follow our vlog channels, if you don't, definitely go subscribe. Puts hair behind ear. We have always, we used to record in a studio back pre-pandemic. Obviously, we've been recording from home. And now that the world is finally starting to open up again, which is so exciting, people are getting vaccinated. That was a moment.
That was a beautiful note. That was good.
We have been searching for a new office and one that is just ours, that we're not sharing with other, creators or anything like that. And we went touring and we found a whole bunch of different places. We actually posted a vlog about that, but I don't think that it's out there. I did tweet you that we got accepted.
Yes.
But it's almost fully final. We almost have the keys.
We just got to sign that dotted line.
We just got to sign on the dotted line.
And it is good to go. I am so excited. It is like, when you know, I knew.
We're not going to tell you which one it was, but if you watch the vlogs, you might get a little sneak peek.
If you listen really closely and hear me screaming, you know which one it was. It's like our dream space, and we're so excited that we get to finally make videos for the podcast.
Yes, that's been a big question.
I'm very excited about that.
We've had a lot of people asking for years if we can record our podcast and put it on YouTube, because we're so aware that a lot of people watch podcasts that way. A lot of other podcasters are doing it too. And the thing with Rem and I is we've always loved how this feels like just us talking. It's not like a formal late night show or anything that's too structured. Because I feel like we can just be ourselves and have like different conversations and stuff. But we do want to bring that aspect and that element of having video, because there's so many times we're telling stories, and if you could see our hand gestures or see our faces, like it makes it so much funnier. And obviously we started on YouTube, so we're really excited to record the pod. We're still going to have it very laid back. Like we're not trying to have it be like a show or too structured or fake or staged or anything. We even talked about having 2 couches where we both just lay down and then record it.
I think we really should. I think the Squishmallows will be in attendance as well.
I just feel like, I don't know, I love the chill vibes, but I hope for anyone who's nervous about it being filmed, don't worry, we're still going to have chill episodes. And even so, like we're still down to record it with it not being filmed if we have to. So it's not like we're going to like always have it this produced. We'll still look fetus. We'll still have no makeup. Like it's not going to be.
Oh no.
It's not like we're not going full glam.
We're not doing a production every time getting our hair done.
But we're really, really excited for that. So we should be getting the keys hopefully sometime next week, and get excited for, just content on all of our platforms.
Yeah. Redoing the studio, decorating,
everything.
setting everything up, because we've got a lot to do.
I know, we have so much to do. So yeah, also if anyone's parents happen to, work at Sony or something and want to
help us out with some cameras,
us out with some what equipment we should get,
please let us know. Thank you so much. Please feel free to DM the Pretty Basic Instagram. No, for real, please. Okay, so we're talking about some boss bitch moves. Obviously, the studio is a big thing.
I feel like there's just a lot going on right now.
There's a lot going on just to do with boss bitches and females and female empowerment. And I'm living
for it. I feel like, even just this past week or two alone, I feel like there's been so much going on just with International Women's Day. Oh my God, can we talk about the Burger King?
I legitimately cannot compute what happened. Like I knew I kept up with it, and I was just like, this isn't happening. Like my brain cannot comprehend currently.
Backstory for anyone who doesn't know and isn't aware: on International Women's Day, Burger King, the UK, tweeted, "Women belong in the kitchen." Underneath that tweet was a thread of how they were saying how there should be more female chefs, and they're giving
only 20% of the only 20% of the people who work in the restaurant and like food industry are women.
Yes, so they were trying to promote that more female chefs should all of that. And
I think it was meant to be satirical, but it just when I'm saying I cannot compute. It's like it didn't make any sense.
Poor execution.
Yes.
It's like good intent, ? Poor execution, But
I mean, like, it was on the same, like, saying women should be on the kitchen is the same thing as saying, like, that, make me a sandwich, bitch. Like, it's the same thing.
So I'm what I hate is when this first came out, I was just like, what are you doing? Like, what was this purposeful? Were you purposely going that route to get this? Because I mean, everyone in the world was talking about it. Like, it was trending.
Maybe it was for the shock factor.
Was
to
it
get
for
people
that?
To read.
To me, where I came to this conclusion was, I was like, I guarantee a guy came up with this campaign.
Oh, absolutely.
I think that just solidifies everything. Like, there was a group of dudes in a board meeting being like, oh my God, that's funny.
Every time something like this or something horribly goes wrong, whether it's in social media or like a product or something, I just imagine a bunch of dudes sitting in a boardroom being ties, like,
suits
this
and ties.
Is it? And
this
they're all like,
it.
yes!
$100 million campaign.
And
this is it.
I just don't. It really was just poor. It was poor execution. But I think what made it worse is they doubled down. Mm-hmm. That's like one of my biggest pet peeves about people is you can't admit that you're wrong.
Okay, so that's where I also felt a way about it. And again, this was just the UK Burger King, but still, obviously, it's International Women's Day, so it's like all. I felt like all they had to do was include the rest of their threads in that tweet somehow, and it would have been avoided. Yeah, it's like quotes, "Women belong in the kitchen?" And then it's like, actually, no. We need to have more. Like, it could have been so much better.
Yeah.
And then it's hard to when like clearly everyone's talking about Burger King, and it's like, okay, was this just a publicity stunt? I hate being so skeptical of people, and then I'm like, well, that's even more shitty.
I'm sure it was. That's like the sad part about it.
But like you said, when people called them out, they were like, no, like that's not. I don't know. It was weird.
No, I completely agree. I think that either they should have done that or they went about it the wrong way. Like, also, maybe they didn't know, but like, threads get lost. People don't read threads. Most people never see a thread. Exactly. Yeah. So maybe they just didn't know that. They should have consulted someone who has a Twitter maybe before doing this. But let's say they went, did the original tweet, did the thread, and then people were like, hey, this is fucked up. Like, you should apologize. The immediate reaction should have been deleted. We're so sorry to anyone that we offended. We support women. We want women to be in the kitchen in this way. We want to employ them. We want to give them jobs. We want to offer scholarships. Yeah. And like fully apologize. It was the doubling down that made it so much worse.
Like seeing some of the replies, I was like, wait, what? So curious what your guys' thoughts were on that. Again, I feel like I don't know. It's just
no offense. Who's going to Burger King anyway?
I saw a lot of people being like, you mean Burger Queen? Like, that would have been a funny thing for them to do. Just
really
be like, cute. For the week we're changing our names to Burger Queen or something, like, I don't know, whatever.
Interesting.
International Women's Day, whatever. But again, it was just one of those like, huh? moment. Like, what? Trisha being like, huh?
What?
What?
Okay.
Yeah. So that was that. That wasn't even that long ago. That feels like forever ago.
That was like last week, I think, right?
Yeah. But we can stop talking about Burger King because they are not paying for us to talk about them.
We also don't really support now. So
I never was a Burger King fan.
You know what's so funny though? If that was Burger King UK, I don't know how Burger King works, and I don't know if that's a whole other
what the US
separate
team was like. Were they like, or were they like, what do we do? Like, did they even tweet? I'm not sure.
I don't know if maybe that was a whole like company-wide thing that they knew about. I don't know if it was if their franchises, small franchises, and the small like families that own the businesses are just like, buy our chicken fries, please.
Okay, final update on that though. As of 4 days ago, Burger King UK did tweet, "We hear you. We got our initial tweet wrong and we're sorry. Our aim was to draw attention to the fact that only 20% of professional chefs in the UK kitchens are women and to help change that by awarding culinary scholarships. We will do better next time." And they deleted the original tweet.
Good. But they should have done that immediately.
Yeah.
Personally, that's what I think, but also appreciate that they apologized and realized their wrongs. All right. Lately, everything has been feeling go, go, go in my life. I feel like the hustle has not stopped. I am tired, but I am grateful. And work, friends, and family, and just like a million social things I feel like are always going on 24/7. And sometimes I just need a moment to turn off and hit reset. That's when I reach for a Coors Light. It's made to chill.
You're the one who actually got me on those. Did you know that?
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
1000%. There's literally only one beer out there that's literally made to chill, and that's Coors Light. Thanks to Miss Remi Ashton. That's how I found out about them, and I am obsessed. And now they're sponsoring the pod. It's amazing. My favorite thing is the mountains on the bottles actually turn blue when your beer is cold. And it's a small thing, but we appreciate the small things.
When you need to hit reset, just open a Coors Light. It's mountain cold refreshment. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged. It's as crisp and refreshing as the Colorado Rockies. Perfect for a moment to unwind.
So Coors Light is the one that we choose when we need to unwind. So when you want to hit reset, reach for the beer that's made to chill.
Get Coors Light in the new look delivered straight to your door with Drizzly or Instacart. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Oh my God, did you watch the Meghan Markle interview?
That's
another thing that happened this week.
Speaking of the UK.
Yeah.
I watched little clips here and there, but I've listened to a lot of different like podcasts and things talking about it since then, and my mind is blown. I don't even know where to begin. I think the monarchy is I've never been the kind of person who's
that invested.
Exactly. I don't wake up at 3 a.m. I didn't watch like the royal weddings or anything like that. I always knew about like Harry and William growing up like in the tabloids and stuff.
A lot of my extended relatives are like so invested.
Yes. Are they like moms?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like
They're
moms
older.
love it. Exactly. I think they're cool. I think the idea of a monarchy is very interesting, but like I don't watch The Crown. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
And I don't really know that much, but this whole thing is nuts, but also at the same time, not that surprising.
The more I feel like I say this all the time. I feel like you learn how much is all like fake, all is publicity, all is like even just publicists writing stuff. Like even like, I don't know.
I mean, I think that the big shock thing that I feel like a lot of people were shocked by, but also not shocked by, was the idea of there being racism within the monarchy.
Oh my God.
Which I think that, I can't speak on behalf of everyone, but at least for me, again, I was shocked. Like just what Oprah said.
Yes.
Oprah was like, I was shocked they were talking about it. I wasn't shocked that it happened.
Yeah.
That's exactly how I felt too. But when you think about the monarchy and all of the history that's tied within them and everything that's happened, it's like, there's a lot that's gone on there.
You know what is shocking to me? When you take a step back and you realize that this type of thing happens almost every generation, where people are, older, our grandparents, for instance, they're set in their ways because they were raised a certain way and they don't like seeing change, But then when you look 5 million steps back, even looking at just like women's fashion and how it's changed. Like the first time women put on like pants, it was like, oh my God, and now it's like so normal to wear shorts and whatever. And it's just changed, but seeing how people are still so stuck in that, oh my God, what if our grandkid or whoever was making I don't want to say it was the queen or whatever, but I don't know who said it. People making that statement of like, what if this child is mixed or something? That to me is so like, how do people think that way still?
Yeah. It's unprogressive. It's hard to understand, I think, because we would never think that way, but it's just so much is rooted there. And again, it's not surprising.
Yeah.
I have a lot of respect, I think, for Harry. Do you remember when he was like the Playboy? Do you remember when he was like in Us Weekly? Like I'd read my mom's magazines and be like,
Weekly.
Playboy Harry goes out to the clubs and parties because he's never going to be king because of obviously William and then all his sons and things. But I think I have a lot of respect for what he did. I have a lot of respect for Meghan Markle for speaking out.
Oh my God. I think that takes so much courage.
Oh yeah.
That diminishes it. I'm trying to think of a better word than courage, but like to be willing to lose everything, but then also like you can't lose what you didn't have anyway type thing.
I think that I think it's cool to see how in love they are with each other and how much they want to protect each other and their family and things. I think it's really interesting I would love to know the difference of like the general consensus of the states, because I feel like the people that are invested in the states are very much on Meghan Markle's side of just like, we hear you. We're like, we hope that you guys are okay. Like, it sounds like you guys are doing better. Glad you got the help that you needed. But I'm curious to know what the general consensus is in the UK.
Yeah.
Because that's their queen and that is their monarchy. And I'm so curious to know, like, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people over there are like, screw Meghan,
if you live
screw
in the
Harry.
UK, can you tweet us and tell us like what the overall like gist of it feels like on your end, because even, and I was trying to find the quote, but even in the few clips that I did see, because again, I tried to watch the whole thing too and I couldn't find it. I can't find the exact quote, but basically it was saying how the press don't report on news, they make the news. And seeing them say Harry the Playboy, it's like, oh, that's a narrative, like let's make him this character. Like we honestly have no idea. Like I remember being little and like reading the US weekly tabloids and stuff at the supermarket and being like, oh my god, they got divorced, you know what I mean, when like they never got you know what I mean. That's so crazy.
I would love to know. I mean, like there's so many celebrities that speak out and are like, this is not not true. Like who are these quote unquote sources say?
I mean, and this even goes back to what we were talking about a few weeks ago about Britney and how the media really made her look a certain way. And it's just like, it's crazy how we all fell for that, because now it's easier to look and be like, oh, there's two sides to a story. Oh, that's just what this journalist is making them look like. Like they're making it look like she lost her mind, but like we don't know that.
I think also something that kind of gives celebrities and people who are in the public eye an upper hand is they have their own social media now to take a stand or to paint their own narrative of whatever, versus just having tabloids write these crazy things they can't say anything back.
Can you imagine actually being famous 10, 12 years ago when you had no actual way to tell your fans stuff? Like everything was through an interview, a magazine that was like perfected. There was literally no way for you to actually,
even in an interview, you don't have sole control over what's
they twist
put
things
out.
so much. Yeah. So I mean, think of how many influencers or even celebs now, when something comes out, they quickly go on their stories or Instagram or whatever, and they're like, oh no, that's not true.
Yeah.
Like that's insane.
You get to control your own narrative, which is really great. The thing that bothered me the most and still irks me to this day since watching the Free Britney documentary is that one paparazzi that was towards the like middle end.
Yes.
And the way that he was speaking, like he was a part of her team or something.
Denial.
The way he was like, oh, like I was on Britney's this, like we'd follow her here, we'd do that. Like I think it was his car in which she beat with the umbrella at that gas station because he was relentless.
If you have not seen the documentary, essentially there's this part where one of the paparazzis of the famous photo that went viral back then when Britney shaved her head and she had an umbrella hitting the car, he was the one who actually took that photo. Like I guarantee you have seen this photo.
Oh yeah, the green umbrella.
And he was in the documentary and people were interviewing him and he was in such denial because the interviewer was saying like, oh, why didn't you stop when she told you to stop? And he was like, oh, no. Like, I mean, there'd be times she would say, leave me alone. But she only meant like at that moment. She didn't mean in general, forever.
He
like,
was so proud of it too. It made me so mad.
And I think that's just how you live with a guilty conscience when you have to tell yourself like, no, when you're making millions of dollars off of someone's meltdown.
Yeah. I'm sure that's his like weird way of coping with it. And I'm sure a lot of people like that or who have done things like that. And I'm sure that's how they cope.
So speaking of, we actually had a fan DM me and they said, hey, I don't know if you've seen Kim Kardashian's stories, but you should talk about this on PB. And I was like, what? So then I go to her stories and this is so fitting. She literally put so many stories on her stories. So she posted a whole bunch of stories and I have to read them, you guys. They're gone now, but maybe we'll put them on the stories of PB's Instagram or something so you guys can see it. But she put, so I finally watched the Britney Spears documentary this week and it made me feel a lot of empathy for her. The way the media played a big role in her life the way it did can be very traumatizing and it can really break even the strongest person. No matter how public someone's life may seem, no one deserves to be treated with such cruelty or judgment for entertainment. Looking back on my own experience, I remember a time when I felt this way. When I was pregnant with North, I was suffering from preeclampsia, which made me swell uncontrollably. I gained 60 pounds and delivered almost 6 weeks early. I cried every single day over what was happening to my body, mainly from the pressures of being constantly compared to what society considered a healthy pregnant person should look like, as well as being compared to Shamu the whale by the media. Looking at all of the photos of myself online and in the magazines made me feel so insecure, and I had this fear of wondering if I would ever get to my pre-baby body back. I was shamed over on a weekly basis with cover stories that made me so insecure, so painful I couldn't leave the house for months after. It really broke me. Luckily, I was able to take these frustrating, embarrassing feelings and channel it into motivation to get where I am today. But to say this didn't take a toll on me mentally would be a lie. I'm sharing this just to say I really hope everyone involved in the business of shaming and bullying someone to the point of breaking them down might reconsider and instead try to show some understanding and compassion. You just never fully know what someone is going through behind the scenes. I've learned through my own experiences that it's always better to lead with kindness. Then she just posts a few different covers of tabloids that people put of her. And there's different ones of her just being pregnant, like a normal pregnant person. And it says, Kim's worst nightmare, dumped at 200 pounds. Devastated, Kim finds comfort in food as Kanye gets close to a sexy blonde in Paris.
Oh
Can you
God.
imagine being in a relationship, pregnant, and that's on the cover of
your
In Touch?
hormones are you're already going through so much,
and literally like there's just such unflattering photos of her, and then it's like Star Magazine, pregnant Kim's nightmare, 65-pound weight gain, binges on pasta, cake, and ice cream, and I'm like, who are your freaking sources?
Oh my God.
And then she's wearing the white and black dress, and then is told she like is compared to a Shamu.
Oh my God.
And Kim sobs, even my armpits are fat, and it like closes up on just like literally just like skin folding, literally like she's pregnant. And then it's like, I'll never be sexy again. And she posts there were so many, I screenshotted a handful, but she posted so many more. We'll definitely put these on the Pretty Basic stories. Pregnant Kim whines, this baby is ruining my life. I can't stop eating. Like such unflattering photos of her.
This is so sad.
Shocking new claim, paid to get fat. Already a staggering 205 pounds. Pregnant Kim is accused of scheming to make millions off her massive weight gain. And then what really pissed me off was there was one photo of a magazine comparing her and Kate Middleton because apparently they were both expecting at the same time. Like they were supposed to have their babies the same month, and they were comparing what like Kim should look like.
Oh my God.
And I was just like, what? Like they're like, both of these stars are due in 3 months. Can you tell? Or something like that. And it was just like, wait, what? And this was really not long ago. And granted, these are tabloids and stuff, but again, I feel like you really like that takes such a toll.
That breaks my heart because I cannot imagine what that's like. Going back to the Britney stuff and then kind of what Kim was talking about, like what I know personally is sometimes, you know, when I'm not in a good place and I start to get comments about my character or, you know, even if it's a superficial thing, if I'm not in a good place, I start to believe those people.
Yes.
You start to believe them because
lies.
you don't understand, like you're already trying to figure yourself out. People are telling things about you because they assume, and you're like, well, maybe they're right. Like, I don't know, maybe they're right, which is so hard. And you almost have to do like double the work to mentally treat yourself from those things and be like, no, they're wrong, and then still kind of figure out what you're going through essentially. I can't imagine being on the cover, like she's just trying to go to the grocery store to
she's
buy
just eating with friends. We all eat multiple times a day. We just don't get paparazzi. Like, I don't know. Again, whatever you feel about the Kardashians, like anyone can say like, that's not okay.
I feel really, really bad for her. I really do. No one deserves that.
I feel like I hate when people say celebrities are bitches, and I'm like, you have to be when this is what most people are trying to get from you. They're just trying to get a story. They're trying to get money. Like they're commenting on, like I would be so closed off to like new people too. Or even, do you know what I mean? Like just assuming people are, I don't know.
Oh yeah. Have you ever seen the video of Jennifer Garner when she went to, I believe it was Ben Affleck's house because they're divorced, but they have kids together. And I think he had relapsed or had like a night where he just got like too drunk or did something, and like the paparazzi caught him and like followed him home, and they were all standing outside
and picking
their
up
house.
Food or something.
It was no. Like I think he was in a car. He looked bad.
Oh no.
And the video of Jennifer Garner, I love Jennifer Garner. Yeah. She goes outside and she's just like to the paparazzi. She's like, "Look, guys, like, can you please just give us some privacy? Like, we really, really, really need it. Like, please, please, please." Like begging them, but so politely, but like begging them to be decent. And it's so sad that she had to even do that.
I also can't imagine what it's like when you're like, oh, that's my dad.
Yeah.
You know, like. Or that's literally my brother, or oh yeah, or that's your dad or your uncle, and you're like, oh my god, it's just I don't know. I really I feel like I can't empathize because I don't understand what it's like to that magnitude, but I'm just like, damn. No wonder so many celebs go crazy. Like,
I understand why Britney hit the car. I do. I get it. I get it.
So I know for me, things have been extremely stressful. I got some recent lab work back and my cortisol levels are extremely high. And she said, you need more sleep and don't be stressed. And I was like, I'm always stressed.
It's not that easy, sis.
It's not that easy. Obviously, everything the past year has been just extremely stressful for everyone between the pandemic, the news, even just articles you read online or Twitter or whatever. It's just been a lot for us. And did you know that nicotine can actually worsen anxiety symptoms? Quitting vaping is really hard, but you don't have to do it on your own.
This is Quitting is real support from real people who have quit. It's on your phone and it's backed by science. To learn more, text Ditch Vape to 88709. I had a
Oh my God. Oh, and then yesterday, did you see all the posts about did you see a lot of posts of girls talking about how they've not felt safe outside, or they've had to text their friends like, hey, let me know when you're home, or they don't feel as comfortable going out? I saw so many bloggers and people posting on their stories like, no, not all men are rapists. However, some are, and this is why we don't feel safe walking out and about. I saw a lot of posts yesterday just on Instagram that people were sharing about how friends and girls have to text each other, hey, text me when you're home, I want to make sure you're safe, or saying how they don't feel comfortable, like they wish they could walk home at night, but they can't for XYZ reason. And I saw a lot of posts about it, but I just figured because of International Women's Day, not being that long ago, maybe that's what it was from, or I didn't understand why there were so many posts about it, but I totally agreed with it. Basically, there was just a lot of posts saying how, like even when you leave my house, I'm like, hey, like let me know when you're home. And it's just such a normal thing that girls do. This has actually been a topic of conversation a lot with TK and I and Ash, and just how you don't realize things that we do innately because we're just programmed to get nervous if there's a group of guys and we're by ourselves and it's late at night.
Yeah.
It does not mean any of them are actual like pieces of shit who would do something
at
all. But it's the first thing you think of because you're a woman alone going down an alleyway and there's a group of guys, and you can't help that. And it's just so normal for us to think that way. So there were a lot of posts about that. And I found out the reason why was because a girl was walking home. I think she lived in London or the UK, and she was murdered by a cop. Yeah. I don't know the full story, but I just saw a article today saying they did find the body and confirmed it was her.
Oh my God. Oh, I just got chills.
Her name was Sarah Everard. She was a marketing account manager and went missing after visiting a friend, and she was believed just to be walking home. That should have taken her about 50 minutes, and she never made it home. There was a post that I actually posted on my story today. It was so good. And she was basically, it literally has almost 2 million likes because it's being shared so much. I'll send it to you. But essentially it's this girl saying how women have all shared their live locations at once. We've all had to change our shoes because you're like, oh, I shouldn't be wearing these heels like out late if I'm like running around the corner. We've all held our keys in between our fingers at some point. We've all made phone calls, real and fake. Like, I've made so many fake phone calls, just being like, hey, what's up? Yeah, I'll be there soon. Like, We've all had to tuck our hair inside of our coats. And I was talking to my assistant. She was like, oh my God, I do that a lot. She's aware that she has like long hair, so she'll put it in her hood if she ever feels unsafe. And I was like, oh, I've never done that. But like, that's so interesting. We've all ran down dark roads. We've all theorized our escape routes just in case something was to happen. Even when it comes down to like, this one got me, that whenever we get in Ubers, there's that lingering thought that this could be it. Like, there's been so many times I've shared my like live location in a car service because I'm like, oh my God, I don't know. Like, there's just so much. And it just made me realize how that is so normal for girls.
Yeah.
Like, every woman, even trans women, like probably even more. Like, I'm like, there are so many things that are normal in us and normalized. Like, I can't imagine just walking to the store at midnight by myself. I never would. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where like a guy doesn't really necessarily have to think about that.
I mean, yeah. I mean, even the Uber thing, like Cal and I, if we ever take an Uber, he would before open the door for me to be polite, obviously. And then I would sit in the car, he'd close the door for me and then go around and then get on the other side. And it happened a few times where I would, I'm very thankful. I'm so grateful. And I'm so lucky that nothing's ever happened to me. But that quick 2 seconds before he can get in, I'm like, they could easily drive away immediately. And it's, again, like, every Uber has always been so nice. I'm so grateful and so lucky.
It's not, we're talking just car services in general. I mean, taxis,
you just don't know. You really don't know. What makes me really upset about this story is, I mean, obviously a lot of things have changed, especially over the past couple of years, but we were always taught, like, you know, go to a policeman, go to someone, a firefighter, someone of service who can help you.
Yeah.
If you're alone, you know, if you need help. And the fact that a police officer did, like, that's
obviously they're investigating it and everything, but
that's awful.
What's shitty, and the reason why everyone was posting so much about it, was because, of course, there are fucking annoying people ass in the world who are saying, like, well, not all men are like that. Like, not all men
are like that.
And that's why people are like, yes, obviously not all men are rapists. Obviously not all men are gonna, like, drug me. Obviously, like, but if one bad person does that, I am going to be skeptical of all men, because I don't know which of you are good, essentially. And I think that is something that really opened my eyes too, of how, like, you don't need to feel guilty if you are walking somewhere and you do feel a little sketched out by someone, because if your gut's telling you something, you should listen to it. And
definitely
don't ever feel like, oh, well, I shouldn't judge that person. Like, it's not about judging them or anything like that. It's about, like, your safety. And clearly this poor girl was just walking home. Like, she was just walking home. That's so fucking sad. Sorry, this got really deep.
No, I just feel so bad for Sarah and her family, and I hope that all her loved ones are doing okay.
Oh my God.
That's fucking awful.
So obviously there's just been a lot about women lately, whether it's from Britney Spears to Meghan Markle to this story that's trending right now, and even International Women's Day. I just feel like there's been a lot, and as horrible as some of the situations are, it has made me realize, like, wow, like, women are fucking strong. Like, seeing the community right now, I'm gonna send you some of those posts, because when you read the comments and people resharing and stuff, it's like chills worthy, because you're like, wow, there's so much resilience here, like you were saying. And sorry to end this episode on a serious note, but I do think it's so important it made this whole situation of reading this last story about Sarah made me realize how much I actually should mean it when I say text me when you're home. Because I'll tell you, I'll tell TK, I'll tell other people, I'm like, oh yeah, text me when you're home. But do I ever follow up and say, hey, did you make it home? Like, are you okay? Or, like, just following up that way and actually meaning it, and realizing, hey, I want you to know that I want to make sure you get safely home. Like, and not just saying as, like, oh yeah, drive safe. Like, I don't know. Or even just, it's a good reminder too. I mean, I'm almost 28 and I definitely feel comfortable walking around, but not at, even if it's during the daytime, like, just being aware of that stuff. So, yeah, I think just check in with your friends.
I think there's definitely been certain situations where one time I walked home alone when I was in New Orleans. And I'm sure I talked about it on the podcast, I always forget, but I'm not even kidding. Every day I think about that, and I think how grateful I am that nothing happened to me, because that could have gone so poorly. I didn't know that New Orleans wasn't a safe place. Yeah. I didn't have a phone. My phone had died. Like, something serious could have happened to me, and I'm so thankful every day. And after my New Orleans thing, I try to be as attentive as I possibly can.
Yeah.
Because I realized how lucky I am, and not everybody is always that lucky. And so, you know, if I'm walking, I try to be off my phone. I don't have headphones in, or I only have one headphone in. Never walk with both in. I really do try, but you really never know.
You never know. And also the thing that it comes down to also is, even if you walk home every single day by yourself, just because you do it a lot doesn't mean that something still can't happen in one of those instances. And I feel like I don't want people ever feeling like, oh no, it's fine, I do this a lot. Like, I mean, I felt so many different things when I read that. I felt angry, I felt sad, I felt like scared. Like, it made our reality that we've always, like, felt more real, and it made it really sad to hear that. And yeah, which I will say, not to segue weird, but I've seen so many really cool self-defense things on TikTok. Have you seen the keychains?
Oh yeah.
Like the cat keychains. Yeah. Like, there's definitely a lot there. So if you ever get on that side of TikTok, I feel like I've been favoriting a lot of things like that. There's even voice duet things where it's like a girl pretending to be on a phone call with you and stuff like that.
I personally keep pepper spray and a taser on me at all times.
But it's so shitty you have to do that.
It's shitty, but I'd rather
be safe.
Yeah, I'd rather have that and feel safe, because even though I don't use it, I've never had to use it, thank God. It gives me peace of mind knowing that I have it.
Yeah. I think the best thing is having a buddy system and having even like a code word or something figured out where, like, if Remi calls me and says, you know, the code word, I know what to do right away, opposed to, like, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's like one of the best things to do.
I think also, like, these are just random tips though that I know. You can set it up on your phone to have like a shortcut where you can say like, hey Siri, I'm being pulled over by the police. It'll like dim. Oh, it's going. It'll like dim your screen. It'll start recording on your phone. So if anything were to happen, then that's on film. It also does like it turns your music down, turns everything so like you can be attentive. Also, if you are in a situation, you can click. This is if you have an iPhone, but if you click your power button, I believe it is 5 times, it'll call.
I just read that.
Yeah, I think that it's good to just know those things. It's good to if you get an Uber, you can send through the app to your friends like this is my destination. This is how long it's going to be till I get there. Like you can track me. Essentially, just to have like if I go to a hotel, I text my mom the room number I'm in, exactly where I am, everything like that, just so that someone else knows. I do try my best, but you really do never know.
Yeah. Oh my God, completely. I feel like these conversations are hard to have, but like there's a reason they're like hard to have. It's just it sucks that this is our reality. But obviously, this was a different episode than normal. But ladies, you are so strong. You are resilient.
You are resilient.
But I don't know. Just reading everything made me not only angry, it also made me scared. It also it made me feel unsettled and
breaks my heart.
Yeah, it really breaks my heart. I just feel like, and then even thinking back to the Meghan Markle interview and all, there's just been a lot of talk about women lately, and I hope, even though these are really bad situations, it also kind of makes us come together and be there for each other. And I can't explain the sense of community I felt with some of the Instagram posts that I was reading of women just being there for each other. And I really, really loved that. So I know this was a different episode than normal, but we wanted to kind of have that conversation.
Yeah. And I think another thing that kind of creates the community is the hope that there will be justice for people like Sarah, the hope that there's so much justice to be found and had still to this day for so many different women specifically, and just different awful things that have happened. But I do hope, I think that, us talking about it, people having these conversations, it kind of opens the floor, and like everybody can, again, this like sense of community is had with people who we're like hoping for the best and hoping for justice for these people so that they can rest easy.
Yeah.
All in all, we love you guys. Thank you so much for listening, and we will talk to you guys next week with another episode.
We love you.
Bye.
Bye.